What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily here on the Audacity Network. I'm a little bit early. Sometimes I get excited. I'm like, let's hang out a little bit before the show. We can have a little chit chat about the things going on within the network. So this is my coffee. I officially have a coffee machine. So I make frothed milk now. So look at this. Look at these bubbles. Sugar-free syrup and espresso. I'm not feeling the best today, to be honest. I don't know. I think I don't know. Maybe it's because I drink coffee at night before I do these shows. I'm not sleeping the best recently. So to start the show, I like having a conversation with you guys just about what's going on within the network, and also responding to your comments last show. So if you tuned in last show, I talked about how I became the villain. And how I wasn't always someone that really saw or cared or even noticed race. It didn't really matter to me. But you give enough Black people opportunities and they just keep stabbing you in the back and calling you racist. It was kind of a message to Black YouTube that you guys created this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sorry. Ew, gross. You guys created this monster. I was not born, I was made. And I really feel the same way about conservative e-girls. At one point, I really enjoyed talking to and conversing with conservative e-girls and women. But I think I was made, I wasn't born this way. Yeah, the one thing they create, I know. Racism. And that's what I would say to Black YouTube. You guys create racism because you are so hostile, unlikable, and you accuse everybody of racism that, at some point white people just say, screw it. Screw it. I don't care anymore. So I'm going to look at the comments from the last show. I reacted to Nick Fuentes' interview on Piers Morgan. He did cook. Which I was going to do part 2 today, but in all honesty, there's like no need because the news cycle just keeps on going. Jesus, he really brought up school shooters. There's probably more Black crime in a week than there's been school shooters in the past 10 years. Yeah. Nick says he does not want Blacks in his family because he's not afraid to say what Pierce has already done and saying it's completely natural to want to stay within your own tribe. And it's what 90% of the world does. Do you know what? I don't think it's really true. I know the data is saying like interracial isn't the norm, but I think if you go major cities, people under 30, it's much higher. You could see it in street interviews. Yeah, so never apologize. Is that a woman that commented? Oh my God, I didn't think women existed. They say it's over for Pierce. I don't think it's over. They're saying his time was 25 years ago. I mean, he had one of the biggest shows when I was in the UK. Just make sure to keep it gangsta when the energy is sent back. That shit's a two-way street. Not really. Again, I said white people, we don't fight back. We just walk away. It's kind of like this. So some of you might have seen, some of you might have not seen. I did this panel show. I spent 2 hours of my time on this panel show. And it was getting late, and I'm like, I'm bouncing. It was almost 10 o'clock. And I'm like, looking, the clock's almost 10. And I say I'm going to go, and this new guy comes on the panel, a struggle streamer, right? This like struggle streamer. He's doing his thing. And I'm thinking, I'm like, who are you? Anyways, I've seen him on a few panels, but he starts saying, Pearl's running from me. You're running. I was going to cook running. Right. He did this whole live stream about me. I didn't even watch it because I'm like, oh, I need another Black preacher coming at me. That's what I need today. And then, they say you're running. And I'm like, do you know what? I am running. I'm running away from your unlikability. I'm running away from drama. I'm running away from I'm fatigued. I mean, that's what white people do. Speaking now, Tall Genius. It's so interesting because Tall Genius comes on my live stream to tell me, he says, you can't speak for all white people. Well, I can speak for them better than you based on your profile. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm fatigued. Why are you here? It's so great. You don't think so? I'm going to keep doing it. So I guess we can never talk again. I guess we'll just never talk again. Oh, darn. Oh, I'm so devastated. No. And that's really what I think is going to happen to the Conservative Party. I think it's already happening. You know, last election, they said, why aren't young men coming to vote? Oh my God, that was too much milk. Oh my God. Very sorry. And I'm like, I could tell you, because conservatives don't really represent men anymore because they keep elevating women. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. I think there's feminism in every household because I've never met a household that the woman doesn't run. Actually, I always forget there's one back home. You know, it's like, how are we going to say we're going to defeat feminism when you can't even defeat the terrorists at home? You can't defeat your wife. You can't tell her no. And you see this as an accumulation of women with big egos that do not have the competence and the expertise to back up the level of ego they have. When men have ego, they're usually good at whatever they're good at. Like, you know, the last person I met with a big ego, I'd say was a pilot. And I would say you deserve that big ego. You deserve that big ego because, I mean, you fly planes. That's pretty cool. I am the villain. I've given up. Okay, I think that's all the comments I'm going to read from last show. You know what's funny? I like I'll tell you guys random stuff about my days and I'll think who would want to listen to this. You know, I'll think like why what you know, like I told you guys the other day I was learning to cook thinner steaks and I was just having a trouble with like the crusts on the thinner ones. And there were so many people invested in my steak journey. I'm like, you guys are amazing. Oh, I have some updates on the Audacity site. I kind of want to run by you guys. It is not my birthday, but thank you. Thank you. Rattlesnake. Thank you. Wow. He's got a big stream. Thank you. Wow. Thank you guys. It's not my birthday. Where was I going? Oh, but everyone was so invested in my journey of making a steak. So I do think I'm going to ascend this year. Obviously not today. Today I'm looking pretty chopped. I was kind of tired. I don't know what the day is. Use ghee with my steak. Yeah. Do you see? I'll think like, who wants to hear about that? Who wants to hear about my skinny, like my steak issues? But you guys love it. I'm like, what is wrong? I don't want to be rude. And then the women are like, cook the steak this. Everyone's so invested in my tiny steak. I don't even really like tiny steaks, but they're out of the thick one. So I got a tiny one. I'm like, these are different to cook. Why aren't I married? Someone said. Well, I'm old, ugly, chopped. There you go. Old, ugly, chopped. Not the best to be around. Could be worse though. I could be disabled or something, you know. So, Doug. All right. So. Hi, beautiful. No, I mean, that's a woman. Please, woman, go away. I don't want you here. I do not need the women here. Go away, go away, go away. All right. So, God, we've had so much stuff go on the last few days. It's like I don't even know where to start. Okay, I want to go through my Twitter because sometimes I'll just go through tweets. I'm gonna skip over the main topic and just go over the random tweets I've sort of seen on the on the on the timeline past few days. I got into a beef with Tim Pool, not really on purpose, but I think he's kind of soft. I don't really understand it because I'm like, aren't we on the internet? All right, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna react to Tim Pool's crash out later. I'm gonna go into that. I have a little bit of beef for trigonometry. They crashed out on me for having Nick F on my show a few years ago, and now they want him on the show. I thought that was a little bit hypocritical. If anyone cares, that was the thin steak. That was what I made yesterday. Anyone care? Anybody care? One in the chat if you care. I also got a juicer. This was my first juice I made with it. It looks kind of chopped, but it was decent. So if anyone's got any juicing recipes, put them in the comments. Okay, I thought it was really interesting how this girl Layla Helpburn, never met her in person. We've messaged a few times, but I just couldn't believe how much tits she's showing off in her videos these days. Like she used to have videos called like traditional women, like it would like refer to her as traditional. And hats off to her. She's pretty hot. Like they look good. But I'm just like, I can't believe how out in the open whoring is, like in conservatism. You know what I mean? Looks maxers are giving me advice on how to ascend. Toby told me I need to face hammer. I think that's a little bit far for me. Obviously today, I don't know what it was. I just felt kind of sick today. Not the best day for ascension. Someone told me to stop being fat. I am working on that. I'm at 22% body fat. I'm trying to get to 19. Someone said I should dye my hair blonde. This is the look. I don't understand. Okay, they put on these filters on me. Like as if I just put on makeup, I would look like that. And I don't know. Like, I don't think I would. I'm a little skeptical. I mean, women do. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. So please, black men in the chat, stop telling me 19% body fat is not healthy. That's the black men in the chat. Yeah, because I've seen that clavicular guy, and I'm like, maybe I'll try ascending this year. Someone told me to get a height, like to get rid of my height, and I'm like, do the surgery, but like to lose height, and I'd rather not do that. Someone told me to get to like, what did he say? He said 10% body fat, and I just don't think I want to ascend that bad. I think you look great as you are. Natty is cool. I know, but this is called ascending. Google it. All right, Angel. Yeah, time maxing. Then someone gave me these peptides. I think this is like Ozempic. Oh, Brian Atlas got in the chat. He said, dye my hair. I either need to go brown or dark, blonde or dark brown. Do you know what? I always hear that I need more volume in my hair. But I'm just like, I feel like my hair is just like this and nobody believes me. Like, I know sometimes like it curls or whatever, but I think my hair is just kind of like this. Do you know what I'm like? I don't know. I mean, I know I look tired. I am tired today. I had a hard time sleeping yesterday. I'm kind of exhausted. I shouldn't be. I'm a YouTuber. Do you know what I mean? Like how weak is that? Like, but I don't know. I just couldn't fall asleep. Lose weight, and then I got to breathe through my nose. Yeah, I need to do that. Not this year, but next year. You wait, I will ascend. Says 14 to 20. I know I'm trying to break 20. I'm trying to get to 19. I'm trying. No, stop telling me I'm fine. This is ascending season. Apparently fake tan and improve my makeup. I did it. Get into good shape, learn basic makeup skills. Usually it's only fake lashes and eye makeup that matter, not face paint. If I have a serious face problems, get it fixed. Fake tits, BBL. A time machine, I know that would help. I know, but a bone smashing. Someone said buccal fat removal. I'm like, I don't know about all that. Hair extensions I've done. Do you know what? I think I don't want it that bad because it means me being uncomfortable. If it means me being uncomfortable, I just am not going to do it. Do you know what I mean? I'm just not. I have a spinal tilt, apparently. Fix my. Okay. What do my teeth need to be fixed? Are these not straight? The looks, the looks maxers got you thinking that stuff's wrong. That, um, see, someone edited me like this. This is a picture of me in a dress, right? And again, okay, they're saying if I dyed my hair brown and added curls and clean 8, um, volume in the lips will balance out your face, learn makeup, less mouth breathing and better posture, a softer aura, less cunty. I'll try to be less of a cunt this week. Isn't that crazy? I'm like, would I really look like that? This, I don't know. This catfishing is getting too far. Where the hell was that this was taken at home. I just kind of wanted to prove I wasn't fat because I used to be kind of fat and I was like, so I think they got rid of a little stomach in this, but that's kind of accurate. But I guess I could. Hair extensions do help a lot. By the way, men don't like natural. I know they say they like natural. No, they don't. They don't. They really don't. Do the men with choice pick natural? We don't, as women, we don't care about what normal guys say, right? But if you look at like the top guy, do they pick? I that's what men say, right? It's like when women say they like nice guys, we're like, yeah, okay. They've done studies on this, guys, where they have men rate women natural versus not natural. You guys don't pick it. I'm just being honest here. I don't mean to be rude. Yeah, men do view it as a higher price tag. That's true. I'm just being honest here. You know, I'm not trying to. The older I get, this kind of black pilled me because I thought there was some like virtue. Yeah, not natural, but looks like it could be natural. Yeah, like it kind of black pilled me to see how much that stuff works. Because I'd see girls get certain procedures done, and the attention they got before and after was just crazy. All right, let's see. Well, we're going to talk about Pierce getting cucked. We're going to talk about Tim Pool's crash out. We're going to, Nala Ray is at it again. Never forget Christians platformed her instantly and praised her for clicks and likes. Lila Rose had her speak at an event about Christianity. Young men are always denigrated by these types of people, yet they'll praise and roll out red carpet for someone who's never apologized, and everyone realizes they shouldn't have been promoted. So Nala Ray is back at it. Okay, I don't know if the music I can play. I'm going to turn off the music. So she's trying to, she's kind of moving sexually, right? Let's be real here. She's like shaking, and now she's teaching her husband how to shake.
Yeah. No, it's boom, yeah, boom, yeah. Okay. So, boom, boom, yeah. So you're not going up, you're not going boom, you're going up. Just throw that big hip up. Throw it out like, yeah, but you're bending down. Yeah, there you go, that's a little better. Yeah.
Like, do you see the condescending voice? I would kill myself. Oh yeah, okay, I have choice. Just because I'm a 5 doesn't mean I've ever bagged less than an 8. Please don't make me roast the woman in your profile picture. That is not an 8. I'm just being honest. You guys overrate the women you sleep with like 90% of the time. It's happened so many times. Oh, my ex was an 8. Okay, show me her. I mean, you guys are part of the problem. You know, you gas these women up, you know. I don't want to do it. That could you know, if that's your wife, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Oh, that's his mom. Okay. All right. At least that's the mom, but I'm like, that is not an 8. No, but I'm saying, like, if you ask women are looking at celebrities. That's who women care about. I hate to say it, but it's the cloud economy. And so, you know, we got to look at who the clouded men are picking, and it's just not natural. I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't think, like, I've asked, you know, I would do these polls on Twitter. I don't think men can really, I don't think you can really say, like, I've done polls to see if men can tell the difference, if, like, between a natural girl or not. I've done this on BBLs, boob jobs, etc. It's like 50-50. Men don't significantly poll being able to tell the difference. Black men are saying we like natural because the average black woman looks like a fat plastic cartoon character whale. That's why we say natural. All I'm saying is you don't really know. You know, I mean, women know. Women know in the chat. You know that. Come on. Yeah, men care. Thank you for being finally an honest man. Men don't care if they're natural. If she looks good, that's what we care. You can tell once they get older. I mean, yeah, but it's like the girl either looks old and weird or old, natural, and ugly. It's like you can tell Melania's had work done, but she looks better than she would have without it. I do this for a living. I mean, men are going to cap on this. It doesn't make them look good. It doesn't. I'm just being honest here. They always cap on this. Okay, so Nala continues to humiliate her husband. What's new? Oh, stay-at-home wives have the highest divorce rate. So a lot of people say they want a stay-at-home wife. All right. Homemakers are the highest risk category of divorce. Divorce is often initiated by women. Once the children grow or income imbalance grows. Women with part-time employment, divorce 35 to 40%, slightly lower. Full-time employed women Divorce 25 to 33% of the time, significantly lower than homemaker. Isn't that crazy? So in the first 10 years of marriage, you have a 45 to 52% chance of divorce if you have a stay-at-home wife, and a full-time employed woman is 25% to 33%. It kind of makes sense to me because if I go to my real life, the women that I knew that wanted to like be housewives kind of were lazy. Yeah, it's like they weren't really. I'm just being honest here. They just kind of were lazy. So I just thought that was interesting. Brett Cooper is going to continue to not watch her kid. So you're going to notice when even when conservative women have kids young, they kind of treat motherhood like a side quest. They're still going to keep working, do big interviews, stay in the drama. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, you decided to get into the Israel thing after you had a kid. Really? You know, it's because they don't really care about the kids. They care about the clout of the kid. Generally speaking, can't speak to Brett. I don't know her, but
cannot come to.
That's generally how it goes. Okay, the DoorDash girl who filmed a drunk man passed out with his parents makes her first court appearance. She pleaded not guilty and asked the judge to ban cameras in the courtroom. So the judge responded saying, no, you don't want cameras to be involved.
The Oswego City judge allowing News Channel 9 to record the proceedings. The first look at 23-year-old Olivia Henderson outside her popular TikTok page.
Their front door was wide open, and they were within eyesight of the front door, laying on the couch indecently exposed to me.
This is her last post, published October 26th, 2 weeks after her now deleted video causing this controversy. Working as a driver for delivery service DoorDash, Henderson claimed she was dropping off a food order when through the customer's door, saw him on the couch naked. After posting her footage, she reported the incident to Oswego police as sexual harassment.
Some of the claims that she had made on social media after the fact were not in fact true.
Investigators determined the man, drunkenly unconscious on his couch, did nothing wrong. But he found out lewd images of him were published for thousands of TikTok users to see. So police criminally charged Henderson with 2 counts related to unlawful surveillance.
And so what she's going to do is she's going to gaslight. And that's kind of what women do when they look bad. They'll just gaslight. Angel says, thanks for the interaction. I enjoyed the roast. Night, y'all. You guys are going to make me into a bitch because you guys keep incentivizing me to roast you. I don't know what it is. It's like you guys like it's like Pearl's rude. They create we create these monsters.
Surveillance. Court documents accuse her of recording, quote, intimate parts without consent when he had a reasonable expectation of privacy.
And to all those that have been supportive of me during this time, thank you so much.
For as talkative as she's been on TikTok until now, she had nothing to say while leaving the courthouse.
Livy, do you want to say anything about what happened?
Yeah, see, there's the simp dad that's going to help her bail out. All right, we're going to have to ban you from the chat. It's so crazy. People think they're entitled to talk shit in my chat. Okay. All right, let's see what other stories I saw today. Hold up. I'm going to go into all the crash outs. Oh my God, there's been so many crash outs. Tim Pool at a crash out. Candace Owens at a crash out. I think I need to crash out. I think I need to be the third crash out. I think I'm too calm. I think I need to crash out. Okay. Also, if you guys look up worldwide debate, I'm still going, right? I am signed up. I think it's January 11th. I'm debating. Should I say who yet? Because I don't think they've signed her contract. But I am going to go to Worldwide Debate. So if you want to see me debate live, I don't really like debating, but I will debate for money. So if I'm paid, I will debate. So Doug MP, do you even know who it is? I don't think I told you yet who I'm debating. But yeah, so I'll say it's a pretty famous gal. Pretty famous gal. You will know her. And it's going to be pretty cool. So I'll give you guys the link to that. Okay, a couple announcements. So, all right, I kind of have a project I'm working on the next few months. I really am trying to get this community going. Essentially, the last few years I was kicked off of everything, and I kind of had to start all over. So I started a YouTube show in England. It was one of the biggest YouTube shows in the United States. I was going on Piers Morgan, and then I had Nick F on my show. We love you, Nick, but that was not a great career move for me. I lost everything. I had to fire all of my staff. I had to move countries. I was living in London at the time. I had to quit volleyball. I probably should have did that anyway. It was kind of a waste of time, but I moved into my parents' house for 2 years and I struggle streamed. I had to, oh my God, it was just a lot. I sold a lot of equipment, and this was kind of a canon event for me because I do think before that, I sort of thought I was unstoppable. And I've said it before. I don't know if I could go through that again. If this time doesn't work out, I think I'll just be cooked. I think it'll be like the end of an era. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Yeah, my romantic life was on pause. My personal life, it was tough. Like, this was just financially, it was just a lot. It was, I almost, like at the time I was about to be offered a regular spot on Talk TV. They took that away. So, but it is what it is. That's part of the job. I do believe that I have the best job in the world. And the fact that I get to do this, I have nothing. Like, I try to explain what happened, but I have nothing to complain about. I'm only lucky. But the last 6 months, I want you guys to know what I have been doing. So I got remonetized between 6 and 8 months ago. And the first thing I did was I hired 2 people, one editor / producer, and Doug MPA, who he does a lot. I don't even know what his job title would be, but whatever I don't know how to get done, he does. And it's great because we have this little team going, and it's going really well. But we're trying to, my goal ideally is I'd love to have 3 editors someday. I'd love to have 2 for the channel for streams and pre-recorded videos, and 1 for documentaries. I think that would be cool. I can only afford 1 currently, but maybe someday I can get 3 or even 2. That's my dream. So it kind of leads me to my next point is I really am trying to make a system where I have the capabilities to talk to you guys easily. Like, I want a group chat where I just message, and all my super fans, you guys know what, like, I'd love to put in my group chat, like, I could show you my stake series for those of you that are invested. You know what I mean? I want to start a blog, and I want to email you guys. I'm going to sell t-shirts. And also video hosting and like paywall content, obviously. And to do that in the past, I made an app. It's called the Audacity Network. It's on both app stores. And I kind of wanted your feedback on something. The app is really cool, but it is kind of expensive. So I'm debating, yeah, exactly. I'm debating switching from the app to Substack and School. So School for video, Substack for writing, and just having an email text list. I just kind of want to give you guys a heads up. I have not decided. My contract for the app is up in a month, but it's very expensive and it hosts a lot of my old videos. But I've looked at the analytics and you guys don't really seem that interested in my old stuff, which is kind of fair, right? So I could just pull all the video off the website and go lower cost. Like it would save me a good chunk of money every month. I could go towards the next editor. Substack and you guys like Teachable. So I'm curious. Oh, and Discord was the third one. So I was thinking I could have a Discord and I could just message you whatever. So if you guys could put in the comments, if you guys have a preference, I'm like impartial. I could do either or. But I think we're kind of getting the ball rolling again. And I'll tell you my goals for the next few years. So the place I'm at, I have the option for 3, maybe 4 sets. This place has, I'll say 2 floors we're recording in. This is one of them. There's one upstairs. The upstairs one is where I do when you see people come in studio. Initially, when I started doing my daily show, I did it in my set that's upstairs. But that one requires a producer. And so I moved to the streaming station because then my producer doesn't have to come in every day. I'm also going to add a music studio in here because I do have the equipment. So I would like to produce music for fun and like when people come in, I can be like, all right, let's make a song on Black Fatigue or something. And maybe someday I'd actually love to do a cooking show where I do hoes versus like housewives and make them do a cook off. I think that'd be so funny. But I really think in order to like make moves on this divorce documentary, I need, because right now I have one editor that does clips for the channel and he does reaction videos. So I don't know if I don't think he can do more capacity than that. I know, do a song based on the discussion. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. The more people I have like subscribed and in the community, the more like edgy I can be because this is a calculated risk when I do this stuff. Because, I mean, I never know when I'm going to get kicked off. And right now I just haven't really generated the revenue to survive, So I do understand why Tim Pool's crying on stream. So really what I want to know from you guys is if I had a Discord and I had like, I really want to do a Substack talking about my experiences because I think I have some funny stories. Is that something you guys would like? People that are on the app, would you miss it? Would you be devastated if I switched to School or Teachable? Would you be really sad? Last announcement is I'm still going to call you guys. I forgot I had a guest in town yesterday and it kind of threw everything off, but I am going to call you guys this week. So you feel like I'm pivoting and that's awesome. Wish you luck on your new ventures. I don't know if I'm pivoting, but I have more, I guess, choice because I've been monetized for like 6 months. So, but you like it, so it's not bad. Yeah, I emailed you guys about that. I'm going to give you guys calls thanking you if you signed up for the $10 a month membership or like the yearly membership. So yeah, I'm like 38 minutes in. And should I get to the topic now? I'll probably get to the topic. Okay. All right. So I can't even believe I haven't streamed in 2 days. And it's like every other hour I go on Twitter and there's like another person I need to add into this monologue and title and whatever. So apparently Candace Owens is on a rampage against conservative media. Candace Owens has turned on every organization that made her famous except for PragerU. Do with that what you will. Daily Wire made her famous. She crashed out on them. Now she's crashing out on Turning Point. And essentially what she's selling to everybody is that she is sad about her friend's death, and she wants to essentially avenge him and get to the bottom and just ask questions and get to the truth about her friend's murder, because Charlie Kirk was murdered. I think it was October 10th. He was shot, basically a public execution, very sad. And really, to me, when I looked at it, it really seemed like a cut and dry case. Because I think there's some sort of, I don't know, gut feeling you get when something makes sense, right? And you know that trans people have mental issues at times. So it doesn't really shock me that somebody in or affiliated with the trans movement crashed out and, shot him on the roof. I know people that knew Charlie Kirk personally, and the stuff, doing a Coliseum like event like that is kind of risky. That's something risky, and some people choose not to do those events because they are so risky, and he wanted to do them anyway. Now, that's not to say he deserved it or it should have happened, but I kind of equate being a YouTuber and a podcaster to knowing that there's, none of us chose to be accountants. So we all know that there is some risk. And I do have a lot of sympathy for Charlie Kirk and his family. But when other YouTubers complain about, safety concerns, my answer is really just be an accountant. You don't have to be here. This is the life you chose. And there's been journalists for all of history, and journalists have gotten killed for all of history. It's not to be rude or disrespectful, but it is part of the job. And we get to do the best job on the planet. I would say the easiest job on the planet, which is to talk on the internet. And part of that job is that, that is a risk. And I kept thinking about how I'm going to pause that point. I have a thought, but I'm going to wait on it. So essentially, Candace Owens is claiming that Turning Point, and honestly, guys, I got to be honest. Candace Owens has had so many episodes alleging different people had something to do with Charlie Kirk's assassination. I cannot, I'm really shocked that this many people are following and buying it. And my theory is that it has to be people without jobs. And I think it's a lot of housewives, actually. It has to be people that really don't have jobs that are buying this stuff, because I just don't know how else you would have the time to really follow it. So I tweeted today and I said, all right, to all of you that are Candace Owens fans, what is the most damning piece of evidence that Candace Owens has presented? Because I've seen her show, I've seen a few episodes, and she just kind of does bitchy stuff the whole time. She kind of just goes between reputation, signaling virtue. A lot of YouTubers do this. It's really annoying. I am so brave because I get millions of dollars to speak for a living, and I speak on things that no one else wants. Like, it's just like bringing attention to the fact that you're awesome. I am so awesome because I talk on these issues. I am more awesome than all of you people. And I'm like, well, that's great. Okay, but what is the evidence? And so I asked a couple people I knew that seemed to be like for her. And I'm like, okay, what is the actual evidence? Like, what are the facts of this case? And they keep saying, well, she has these sources that submit this stuff. And I'm like, okay. There's these Egyptian planes. And I'm like, okay. And I'm just kind of reading the evidence that they're bringing forward, and none of this would hold up in court. And we have to remember, we are in a society where it's innocent until proven guilty. You got to prove it. So the burden of performance really is on Candace to have an ironclad case. And in my opinion, I mean, she's had months to do this. At some point, I got to say, who are these sources and where is the evidence? Yeah, because you have to remember female manipulation tactics. And one of the manipulation tactics is they have anonymous sources. I mean, that's how they falsely accuse men of rape. all of these anonymous accusers, right? Because if you make the sources public, you can decide if they're credible or uncredible. So going back to Candace Owens' tirade again, I really go to the intelligent people in my life and I ask them, how do you determine if something's credible or not credible? Because, there's a lot of people that are coming at Candace and saying Candace is malicious. She's evil. She is an evil woman. And that's where Tim Pool's coming from. He's getting kind of emotional saying Candace is evil. I don't think she's evil. I really think she thinks that she's right. And I'll get into why that is. I don't think she's evil, but I think she's just a woman that's never been told no, which is most women. Yeah, she does claim she has emails and texts, but hasn't shown them. Now imagine you're in court and you're like, show me the evidence. And they're like, well, I have emails and texts. And you're like, show me. I can't. It's not enough. Not enough. And I think what's really happened, I don't think she's malicious. I think she really thinks she's better. I think the problem with YouTubers is they get two problems. They start to moralize and think they're like on the side of good. And, that's kind of a dangerous position that's very narcissistic to think. And that's why they put in the crosses in the background and they say we're fighting evil. And I'm like, what's so good about you bitches? You guys are degenerates too. Shut the fuck up. and it's not a good, because you start to think that you're God and they start behaving as if they are gods. And they get these giant egos. And I think she's to the point where she thinks she's better than the FBI. Because no man has told her no in conservative media ever. So Tim Pool, I didn't even mean to get into a beef with Tim Pool, but I'm going to be honest, Tim Pool's not my favorite person. And it's actually not because my initial opinion of him, I would say, was positive. I thought he worked hard. I thought he was a good guy. It seemed like. I went on his show a few months back. But he just has this reoccurring thing where I would be on his show, right? And the next day, he would just start insulting me like a woman. Like I went at a show a few years ago and I debated Lauren Chen and I cooked her. Oh my God, I cooked her ass. And, White Knight Tim Pool comes in and he says, Pearl, who hurt you? You're insecure because you're tall. And he makes a video saying, I'm insecure because I'm tall. Now, I am insecure because for a lot of reasons, right? Like I'm kind of chopped. I could be, I look tired all the time. It's just kind of my face. Like I could be better in a lot of ways, but I love being tall. I'm like, Tim, if anything, you're insecure because you're short. Like don't project your insecurities onto me. When I was a kid, I was mad I wasn't 6'2". I understand some tall women have that phenomenon. I wanted to be 6'2". I remember I prayed to be 6'2". I didn't quite make it. And this is just it's kind of just been a theme where he crashes out of my comments section. He crashes out, he's like, and honestly, it's been going on for years where he calls me dumb. And I'm like, Tim, do you think you're that smart? Like, really? Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but we're YouTubers here. Like, you didn't invent. You're not Elon Musk. You're a streamer. We really got to know our play. And I think that's really the problem I see with, like, in this whole conservative war, I just see a bunch of idiots, and I'm kind of an idiot. So I'm not claiming to be super smart, but I do know what I see with my eyes. And I just see a bunch of idiots fighting. And there's so many average Americans, probably like a lot of the men watching, that are smart and intelligent and accomplished. who probably have better things to say than a lot of us, but you're working. So let me find Tim Pool's crash out. So Tim Pool, allegedly, he goes onto Twitter and he says that his company got shot at, like there was a drive-by shooting. Pearl, I think Tim attacked you because the married men always have their wives in the back of their heads, so they say what their wives think. Yeah, I'll get into that. Tim's a wife guy. He's like similar to Piers Morgan. It's very obvious because, oh yeah, that's the other thing. He always attacks me on not being married. And I understand it's a bit hypocritical. It's hypocritical, right? You know, but it's kind of hypocritical for him to come at me for not being married when he married a woman that's like 35. Do you know what I mean? Like if I did your wife's path, I got another 5 years, baby. Like, not to be rude, but you know, and he's just like, he's been kind of like putting these personal attacks on me for months. I never attack. You'll notice it's very rare that I do a personal insult first, but I will do it back. Oh, maybe there is footage. If there is footage, I'll stand corrected, but I will tell you why it seemed performative to me. So apparently there's a drive-by shooting at Tim Pool. Someone drove by and shot at his house. And I've been to Tim Pool's compound. And I'm a little confused because it's like there's this long driveway to get in, so it's not really near the front. Now, I'm not trying to downplay this. I'm not trying to lack sympathy. But again, I've kind of said this earlier. There's men that die for free every day. There's men that die for $45,000 a year. So if YouTubers have to get extra security, I'm not really going to put us on a pedestal and moralize it when there's men that die chopping down a tree in the woods. Now, you have to understand the class of people that influencers are. They're very performative. Like, they're just very performative people. And so I think it's actually reasonable for people to question if this story is real. I don't think it makes anybody a bad person. But Tim Pool, you know, he crashes out. He's like getting mad at anybody that has any questions on the story. And, you know, like, if you guys want to question me, go right ahead. I don't care. You're telling me someone sits out there filming at the end of the road. See, now we got more questions. Yeah, being a police officer is one of the hardest jobs in the world, and they start off at $65,000 a year. They deal with a lot of mental issues and don't deal with the best of society. So you have to understand, when I see Tim Pool crashing out on stream and like crying about his, you know, his security costs, I don't have a lot of sympathy. It just kind of comes out like I couldn't figure out why this clip really like rubbed me the wrong way. And I just thought, do you know what? It's because I can't stand influencers. I can't stand my fellow, you know, because nobody made us do it. I mean, there's an accountant job. You can be an accountant. Good show as usual. Thank you. I was a little nervous today was going to suck because I was kind of tired and I kept burping. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, oh no. Like, and remember, I know what these people bring in. I would guess Tim Pool brings in 100. I would guess over 200K a month based on his analytics and his memberships. So, you know, it's like when I have cousins in the military fighting on the front lines, I don't know about this. Okay.
So where does that leave us? We have 2 weeks left in the year before we go on our Christmas hiatus. You know, I'm not a big fan of any kind of hiatus. I would prefer just to work.
This might not be the one. I'm going to wait. There's one where he's like screaming. So let me we'll see if it's this one or the other one.
But it is taxing. It is grueling, of course. And
Like, I don't like that. What is taxing or grueling? You're sitting talking. Like, I find that disrespectful to men that actually have real jobs. You know, none of this is real. We're talkers. Like, I want us, we should. This is grueling being a talker.
there's a lot of infrastructure here that requires me to work all day, every day, Monday to Friday, with some extra work on the
Talking,
weekends, usually meetings. And I'm probably gonna have a stroke. My health's actually pretty good. My blood pressure is great. My resting heart rate is actually
I am so awesome. I work so hard. Cry me a river.
around 45. I exercise quite a bit. Haven't been able to skate in the past month or two. The holiday.
It's just this narcissism. And the way I look at this, okay, now imagine we're back in the old days and it's like peasants and the kings, right? And you're like a peasant, you're like pushing your, I don't know what, the carts or something. And the king is saying, oh no, people might kill me. And you're like, yeah, you're the king. You could be a peasant, come be a peasant. They're like, here, there's peasant spots. And then they're like, well, no, I want to be a king, but I don't want the hard, I don't want the risk of being a king. And they're like, well, then why are you, you see.
And, but we have to have these conversations, and I have been with the people, our contractors, people we work with, our vendors, partners. And one thing is clear. The violence will get worse. It is going to escalate. We cannot keep going as status quo. Something has to change. It may be that, as we described after the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the threat to come and shoot up our studio and our workplace, we asked, at what point do we say, we can't do this anymore? The cost of running Timcast IRL Studio and the projects around it exceeds the amount of money it brings in. That's just that.
Okay, so again, when YouTubers complain about not having money, I'm like thinking, I've been to your studio. You have a roller rink and a basketball court. Like, do you understand how out of touch it is? Now, I understand the security costs. Like, yeah, it gets expensive, but I mean, that's just something you got to, like, I'll give you an example. I want to do street interviews again. I kind of stopped doing those after Charlie Kirk got assassinated. And if I do it again, I'm probably not going to get security. I'm just going to do the interviews. And I'll know that's a risk. And if I die, I don't think I will. I'm not as political as these people. I think I'll be all right. But it's a calculated risk, and you take it or don't. And you buy a gun, Yeah, exactly. And there's police officers that go to work every day, and that's a risk they know they have. There's firemen that go into, burning buildings. So I'm kind of like, shut the fuck up. You live in a place with a roller rink. Yeah, you can get a streaming station and just stream. Yeah, exactly. Taylor Swift doesn't complain about money. It's like, yeah.
Breaking point, isn't it, for any business? If you need $100 to, run your restaurant, but you're only bringing 90, you go out of business. The issue? The cost isn't cameras or lights. The cost is security because of the escalation. It's an artificial cost to doing business that we can't balance. We can't forego security, but we can't sustain it either. So
you can forego security. Look, I'm telling you, I lived on a similar compound. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I just don't, I feel as though a lot of these people are manipulating their audience. Look, I lived in a similar compound, like where my family's from, a similar compound to Tim Pool, right? If Tim Pool wanted, he is, does anyone watch him closely? Is there any talent really other than Tim? I don't know anybody else. So if Tim wants, he can just get a little streaming station, put it in the corner, and you can pay someone like $20 an hour to hold a gun at the end of your driveway. You're probably good. Like, can we just be honest here? Like, seriously. And I thought about this because when I was home, I was debating doing the panel shows. And I'm like, my dad had like a friend who does, like, I would just go to like a, and it's because these influencers, they want the best of the best security. They say, I want to do politics. But I also want the audience to pay for my security. Oh yeah, I had a volleyball court. Oh yeah, no sympathy here. I mean, you can like, well, okay, let me do the math on this. And he's saying, oh, I have to get the security. That's like $800,000. That's what he told his audience. I'm like, no, you don't. Sorry, but that's a luxury. I mean, there's men that go to work every day. They don't get security and they have more dangerous jobs than we do. And I understand Charlie Kirk got shot, but come on, that's an event where you're telling everybody where you're going to be. And it was a calculated risk. All right, let's see. Let's say 25 an hour times 40 hours a week times 4 times 12. That's 50 grand for the year. So fire one person, you have a security guard. Fire one person, you have a security guard. I mean, that's why I try to be open with you guys about what I'm doing with the money. So like, and like if you're like, what are you getting for $800,000? Someone shot at the complex. Like, and I'm thinking about where this place was, right? And it's like a long driveway with a road out front. And I'm like, okay, that's not, I mean, that's not really the same. I'm not trying to like be insensitive, but like, I don't know how spooked I'd be if someone shot at like the end of the drive. Maybe I need more information. But this is like the most bratty thing I've seen in a while. Maybe,
I've had some conversations with our partners, been talking with Rumble. There may be a solution. And it's going to be rapid change very quickly. We're going to have some.
If you pay your security $25 an hour, he's not protecting jack shit. Okay. But you get my point. Okay, it can be $75K a year. My point is, you want to pay the guy $100K a year? Fire 2 employees. There you go. There you go. And it just seems like it's like every year he's saying he's going to quit. So quit. Stop threatening us. Go.
Emergency meetings. We've already had emergency meetings for obvious reasons. And there is a possibility that the 19th is the last episode of Timcast IRL. We are doing everything we can to make sure that's not going to be the case. It's no secret that I've been frustrated and disillusioned with a lot of people in politics, but that's no reason to walk away from doing our nightly show with a tremendous success. But the cost is not just money anymore. The cost is...
Okay, go be an accountant, Tim. Accounting. It's like, I'm a woman. I feel like I'm talking to the mind of
the safety of my family, myself. And there are many ideas we're floating around.
Accounting. I just think they're trying to milk the audience. All right. So, and then, here's the other one. Then this was the crash out. Oh my God, this was the crash out. Okay.
Fucking evil scumbag.
Okay. So now again, I don't know if I think Candace Owens is evil. I just think she's a woman. I think, again, he's going to blame Candace Owens for having to up his security costs. Like, essentially, the argument is Candace Owens is like stirring up the crazies. And therefore, like, I'm mad because I have to pay more money to security. And it's like, well, I mean, that's life. That's life. But I would say, men like Tim Pool elevate stupid women all the time. I mean, he elevates the virgin, Mary the Virgin chick, the redheaded libertarian. Any one of those women could turn into Candace Owens. He's no better. He's part of this. I mean, it's the simp mindset. Feminism isn't like this elaborate strategy. It's just simping. It's in every household in America. Every talk show you go on, it's just men elevating women higher than they should be. So, no, I don't think Candace is evil. I think she's a bitch, right? I think she's bitchy. But I just think she's a woman who has never been told no. So she thinks she's smarter than she is. And now she thinks she's smarter than the FBI. And this ego, and she's not really a humble person. So this is going to bite her in the ass. Did you say Candace is pregnant again? Is that true?
She is a degenerate cunt. She is burning everything down, and she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit.
Cry me a river. Look, I mean, there's some situations I've been in. Nothing compared. Like, people have had it worse. But look, security is a calculated risk. And a lot of conservatives, and you can kind of see it, he's neurotic. So he's trying to control the universe. A lot of people go into conservatism because they're like neurotic people trying to control the universe. Isn't it like, I think you'll be a happier person if you just say, if I die, I die. It is what it is. My intuition with Candace says Candace is truly evil. I've thought it for 5 years or better. The behind the scenes stuff with Nicole Arbor was horrific. And everyone memory hold it. I remember she beefed with that girl, but that girl started showing texts. And once someone starts doing that, it's like, isn't the MAGA civil war on the Israel stuff? Where are you on this issue? I don't know enough to have an opinion. That's not something I'm qualified to really, I don't know. That's the annoying thing about media is people want you to have an opinion on everything. If you don't have an opinion on something, people are like, oh, but Pearl, you're scared. Da, 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 da. It's like if I said I'm pro-Israel, or I said I'm pro-Palestine, or I said I'm America first, and they're like, well, why are you? And I'd be like, I don't know. Oh God, Candace is no better. No, Candace does show text every day. But to me, I didn't watch the Nicole girl's video. I skimmed it years ago. And she just seemed nuts too. Should we react to it? Is it still up? If it's still up, maybe I will for shits and giggles. But even Kirk, like, it's sad. It's really sad. But I mean, that's a risk when you do those type of events. It just is.
She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it.
They have no balls to call her out. Bruh.
They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you cower, as you fucking cower.
Okay, so now he's like, I am awesome. Like, I just, these people. Now he's saying, look how awesome I am. I am awesome. I am brave. Do you see it's like this hero complex? You know what? The heroes never think that they're heroes. I always tell on my show, my dad is my hero. My dad, like, how do I put this? He would just, I would randomly find stories of like nice things he did for people around the, like, he wouldn't even tell us about it. And someone would be like, oh, he gave me money. He did this. He did this. He did this. Like, it's not people that draw attention to the fact that they're awesome. It's the people that don't draw attention to it. You know, sounds like a damsel in distress. I know. Can I get a super chat, guys? Like, I'm an hour in. $5, por favor.
That she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which she's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was the.
I'm fucking done with these people.
She has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier.
Is that Gary, the numbers guy? Tim, have your boyfriend buy you some Vagisil. Thank you. $2 from Craig. I don't understand why he's so angry. Chill. You're a bajillionaire.
In a suburban neighborhood with neighbors, she doesn't give two fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy, and she doesn't give a shit about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my fucking property and I have to go live in the middle of.
Do you see how this comes off as performative to average people? You know what's crazy? Nick F was so gangster when he got shot at. He was just like, yeah, I got shot. Anyways, guys. I mean, yeah, Tim says he's done with these people. You're one of the people. You're like the OG conservative media people. Like, I mean, this doesn't need to be a big dramatic thing. If people know where your house is, then move. If it's too high of an overhead cost, then get an apartment. Get a 1-bedroom apartment for $2,500 a month. Put a little streaming station in there. Good enough. $2 super chat. Was my dad raised a Christian? He was raised Catholic. But Merry Christmas. Thank you. But, you know, he wasn't that religious. He was just a good person. It's why I'm not really that religious, because I don't like when people use titles. Like if I start saying, oh, I'm a Catholic, that's just what people do when they're too lazy to just be like nice people and let their actions speak for themselves. So it's like, I'd rather just, you know, you can take my actions or leave them. You know, I mean, but I don't think I don't like titles. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like titles, because then like the title should just be your character. Yeah, no one is good, because if you start thinking you're good, then does that make sense? Like that's the most people that think they're good do the most messed up stuff.
Nowhere. And I got fucking strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who trying to live there. How the fuck am I even supposed to sell this property? And, you know, it's all lies. It's all hypocrisy. And it is for the purpose of making money. And she does not live the way other people live. And she claims she liked Charlie. She loved Charlie. And she is burning everything down that he built, because she is evil. She is evil.
She's evil. I'm awesome. All right, we get it.
And I'll say it again. This conservative movement is fractured. It's fried, whatever it is. Okay? Republicans are on track to lose the midterms. They were actually trending.
Yeah, but and this is kind of my point of the whole stream. White men are just going to walk away. Like, because white men don't really like this drama. So they're just going to say, I'm good. I'll see ya.
The other direction until Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Yeah.
And this is the point, isn't it? The most effective political assassination in history. And thanks to the likes of the vile cunt Candace Owens, she has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime that was against them. I don't get paid by any of these people. I'm not on good terms necessarily with Turning Point USA. They didn't invite me to their stupid event. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. They invited me back after I started criticizing Candace. I'm not going to your event. I'm over all of this shit. The last thing that I need to deal with is a bunch of cowards in conservative media refusing to stand up to her. Megyn Kelly, come on. I appreciate the kind words, but come on. Such fucking pathetic bullshit. You know, and I get people saying, Tim, you know, thank you so much for talking about it. I don't care. I'm not doing a favor for anybody. I'm not doing this to benefit anybody. Nobody's paying me. There's no fucking Russia. There's no fucking Israel. There's just me sticking my neck out and then risking dying for what? A bunch of cowards that don't want to stand up to protect themselves? People like fucking Candace Owens?
I couldn't believe that she put you in the thumbnail.
What a fucking cunt.
Of her piece today.
I'm done.
The idea that she'd
I'm fucking
imply
done.
that you had
Yeah, and again, for the love of the game. I do love the game. Yeah, and to me, so and now Candace says he's genuinely not well right now. I wouldn't turn this into a cheap internet moment. This is just it's clearly something so personal going on in his life. It's hard to run a business. He's under pressure. So this is again, pray he comes through it. Conservative women always use prayer in order to be a bitch. So instead of growing a pair and just telling someone to F off, they'll say, I'll pray for you. Get the likes up. Still miss Kevin. Yeah, look at everybody in media is risking something. So if you don't like it, go be an accountant. Go be an accountant. Okay, Steven Crowder says objectively, Tim's statement of fact that Candace's goal in burning down everything that Charlie built is true. The fracture is over whether Candace's evidence is sufficient. What threshold of evidence would be required under any other circumstance to validate a warrant said destruction? Let's use that standard. See, that's what I love about Crowder is he's not like emotion. I mean, everyone's a little emotional that does this, but he's very fact-based and not like, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, wait. Then we got Candace's response. Bruh.
As you power, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right now.
Yeah, that was the.
I'm done with these people.
She has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give two No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy, and she doesn't give a about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my property, and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in.
Okay, where's
How the
yeah, it was.
So there's a lot to unpack there. First and foremost, what you are seeing right there is not a display of testosterone. Men that speak to women like this are not tough guys.
So again, now Candace wants the privilege of being spoken to like a woman while acting like a man. Look, in a way, I'm acting like a man. I'm being out here. I'm on the internet. I'm beefing. I'm doing this stuff. I can't then say, oh, you're being too mean to me, right? It's just, it's part of the game. Like if Tim calls me ugly, I'll call him bald. I'm in the man's world. So, I don't like when influencers, it just kind of goes back to, as an Englishman, that's appalling language. Yeah, no. You either are a man or you're a woman. And right now you're acting like a man, so you get the treatment of a man. And now she's going after his masculinity. I know.
Okay. What you are seeing is actually a display of estrogen. Everything he is doing there is somebody who is not a man. He is not tough, and he would never dare to speak to a man like that, right? People that.
When women say that, like, okay, women that they've only dated beta males, they don't even know what it's like to have their husband raise their voice at them. God, women are bitches that don't have a boyfriend or a husband that would ever yell at them. Oh, you can't, like, you would never, a real man would never speak to me that way. It's like, do you have the authority to tell men what a real man is?
Find that very easy. Secondly, Tim Pool doesn't even have the intellect to understand that we put him in the thumbnail because he accused me in a full episode with Milo Yiannopoulos, which we showed and contextualized, of being someone who benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination. So he thinks he's being accused. No, you accused me of that in like a actually, I think it was 2-hour episode with Milo Yiannopoulos, in which Milo defended me and explained that I am not to blame for the lame excuses that the feds have given us regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination. And that if we do need to have some spiritual searching in terms of what the Republican Party has become, that the time for that is now. Okay. So this little, and I really like, he's a small person for this, a very small person who is also theatrical, Timothy Smollett, who pretends every year like people are trying to kill him. He's a chronic fence sitter, okay? Pretending like he is braving the wilderness for being what? The 110,000th person who's making a video about Candace Owens in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. He thinks he's pioneering that. Are you out of your mind? It's only the safest thing you can do. What's next? Is he going to make a video and call Kanye West anti-Semitic?
Okay, now she's just kind of being a bitch. Let's keep going.
Is he going to call Donald Trump evil in 2000 for what he did there? He should apologize. He won't. I don't care.
Okay, now she's just gonna nag. Where's the last one? Oh, do you know what? I thought Owen Benjamin was a super simp, right? Because I think he was one of the ones that came out against Crowder and like said he was like abusive at work. And I'm like, what are you, a simp? But I actually liked his take on Candace Owens and Tim Pool. I'm like, he might be more normal than I thought.
Hey guys, I just wanted to weigh in on the Candace Timmy Pool beef. And yes, I'm digging a grave for one of my favorite goats.
Okay, so he tells a story about the goat, the first half of the video, and how he kills the goat. We can skip that.
Disgrace. You know, but that's centrist fence-sitting extremism that he's talking about. I think he has, and Timmy Pool, since you had your little meeting with Netanyahu, like you're in the game, okay? So the war, we come up with these words to demonize and dehumanize the enemy before incinerating their villages. Gook, zipperhead, chink, yellow, slant, slope, Charlie, I don't know, dog eater. You know, there's all these. That's one reason why I like to keep them going well after the war is over. You know, during the Middle East, it was any war ever. Timmy Pool, you don't know shit. Yellow Gook, Timmy Pool, had one of his spaz outs. And it's so pathetic to watch. You know, it's like, we're actually getting assaulted. And Timmy Pool, you don't know shit, man. If you're getting attacked by people with guns, which I do not believe you are, it's because you're involved in crime. Okay? I used to live with, like, at the time, an insanely famous chick. No one ever had armed guards. She didn't have a gate. There'd be paparazzi just sitting outside her house, and she was, like, known for movies that were kind of, like, for weirdos. So she had, like, some of the weirdest fans, and no one cares. I've been to, like...
And that's kind of been my experience. Like, all of the influencers that say, oh, they're trying to kill me. Oh, like, people are showing up at my house. I don't think it's as bad as they're making you believe. I think they're trying to be the victim so they can like milk more money, you know, because drama sells, right? Tim crying like a little girl and man up and shut up. Candace needs to stop acting like she's a man. Yeah.
A-list celebrities' houses, I've never once seen an armed guard. Ever once. Now, when you get into, I've been to criminals' houses. Ooh, yeah, we're talking round the clock. Politicians. Basically a verified gang. You know, when you're El Papa of like a state, you're called a governor. Right? I get it. You know, there's all kinds of money and power going on. And Timmy Pool, since you had your little meeting with Netanyahu, like you're in the game, okay? So don't act like a bitch. You're not just a commentator, all right? And you don't get to call Candace Owens a cunt. I do, because the hyperbolic, triggering nature of the word is my craft. And I don't have hate in my tone. That's why it doesn't come. No one looks at me and is like, that guy definitely beats his wife, right? And people are saying that about Timmy Pool. I'm not saying he does, but those are the type of guys when they're like, when they say a word and it's like real, right? Now, that being said, I believe Candace Owens is a cunt. And one thing I'm going to tell Candace Owens is you can't flip-flop on the male-female thing. So you're a woman doing a man's job. But yet, as soon as a man attacks you, you're back to being a woman. You said, that's no way to talk to a woman. Well, I don't even consider you a woman at this point because everything about you is male. You start fights with countries. You make millions of dollars. You talk shit. You expose your face and body and self to everyone in the world. You're ambitious. You're aggressive.
Happy birthday, Pearl. I don't celebrate my birthday. It just reminds me of the first time my face was near my mom's twinkle. It's not my birthday.
You're predatory.
Shut up.
Right? Now, you made some great points about the grabblers. But, you know, when you said stuff like, I'm breaking new ground, no one's ever done this before, shut your fucking mouth. When you were testifying for Congress for Dennis Prager, I was digging graves for animals I loved because I was kicked out of banking. All right. And I was like, I would have never said, no one's ever done what I've done except for, you know, Bertaria Ursa Rio, making the internet real life and crowdfunding land that we can have festivals on. There are things I've done first. Yes. But you're also a nobody. I mean, you're better than Timmy Pool. Timmy Pool is a disgrace. You know, but that centrist fence-sitting extremism that he's talking about, I think he has something kind of like a cult going on, and it's hiding in plain sight. You know, like people call me a cult leader. I never have anyone at my house that isn't like a really good friend. I don't have any interest in fucking anyone but my wife, and I never talk sexually or inappropriately. And like, I encourage people to keep their money, right? Like, it's just not a cult, right? Tim Pool works and lives on the same compound. His employees live on the compound. Now, he does have a gate for himself, but not for his employees, allegedly. This is what I've heard, right? And so these armed guards that he spends all his money on, what the hell is he so afraid of, right? I mean, he's acting like a man who's afraid of his boss, okay? And Candace, you should listen to this. I mean, you must know you're a cunt, right? Like, I'm not breaking new ground here. I'm just a man digging a grave for a goat he loved, okay? But doesn't it seem like Timmy Pool's spaz out is that, like, he's not delivering to a very scary boss and the man's in debt? I'm not in.
Yeah, he's acting weird. I'm not going to speculate as to why. Why, when Charlie quoted scripture, it sounded sincere, but when Erica, it sounds fake. Sorry. I mean, because Erica, I mean, she's an ex-ho. So come on.
Any debt. I could have one viewer. Granted, I would have to get a job at the post office, but I'd still stream at least once a month. I have, you know, not having debt, you can go in ebbs and flows. The summer, this grass grows, the winter, it all dies.
No, and he's right. And that's kind of why I wanted to bring this up. Like, if you, and I've done this before. When I was in London, I wanted a really nice studio in like a really good part of London so we could easily recruit guests, right? And I wanted a really good filming place, and I got it. But that lease actually ended up killing me when it got demonetized. So now I live in a cheaper lease, not in the best, like not in a bad area, but like this lease is like a quarter of what it used to be. My goal is to buy this place so I don't have to worry about like money as much, and keep costs low, because in this industry you just can't have high costs. I learned it the hard way. But again, it's like Tim Pool's not even demonetized. I'm like, Tim Pool, you're not demonetized. That means you're bringing in 6 figures a month and you're crying. Fuck you. Like, fuck you. I made 10 grand last year. I made $10,000. That's what I made last year. So, you know, and I don't even have the right to complain because I got to go home for a year, you know. I know some people are saying he's crazy. He seemed insane during the whole Crowder divorce. And like when he was saying he was like abusive, like that was insane. But he seems calmer here. I don't know him that well, but his points on this topic I've thought have been good.
And that's okay. You can, you know, yell at people to get more enthusiastic, but it's not like this desperate thing. And I've had 7 payment processors break down that had all of my monthly subscribers. Like they say, I get kicked off YouTube. They say, build your own. I did. I had to start over 7 times. I'm still standing. And now things are quite a lot more smooth. So that's actual money problems. And I still would never act like Timmy Stupid Pool. You know, he does seem like he has a vision. And his size, his little size, his hairlessness. He like calling, I don't think Candace Owens is evil. I think she's a grifter. I think she's selling moisturizer. I don't even know if she's aware of what she's doing. She might think she's fighting the French.
Yeah, that's what I think. She thinks she's fighting the French foreign government. You might need a day job. I might. I'll do it if I have to. Do you know what I was thinking? There's a Starbucks across the street. I was like, if this goes bad, I'm going to go work at Starbucks. What do baristas make? I think I'd be good at Starbucks.
Porn Legion right now. I think Timmy Pool is much more aware and calculating of his manipulation. A lot of women, they don't really even know when they're manipulating because that's just what they do to stay alive. So anyway, Candace, if you're going to be a man like what you're doing, you can't then go, that's no way to talk to a woman. Bitch, you're not a woman anymore, how you're acting. Like, you don't get to have chivalry thrown your way. When you're accusing any man of wearing a maroon shirt of killing Charlie Kirk, sorry, but chivalry, like talking to a woman a certain way, like, Andrew Wilson's wife, Rachel, cunt, bitch, fat.
I like Rachel. But I actually agree with what he's going to say, which if you're a woman in the public domain, you can't complain when they insult you. He's a Jew puppet. He met with Netanyahu a few months ago and defends Israel and everything. I don't know. Pearl should go work at Cracker Barrel. Hey, I will. I don't mind.
Pig. Why do I talk that way? Because she doesn't get female protection anymore. And I want that. It's the same with the Israeli female soldiers. And I said this day one. If you want to have all your civilians in the military where they're legally allowed to kill people with guns and they're women, you don't have civilians anymore. That's the game, man. Civilians mean they're not enemy combatants. That means that they're, now I hear the Muzzies use kids and shit. I get it. I'm not picking a side here. I mean, if I was going to pick a side, it would be the Palestinians. That being said, right of conquest. I mean, it's a very complicated conversation, but like when people paraglide into a rave and people are like, oh, civilians, every single woman in there is a soldier. And that's why you don't put your women in the military, right? Imagine a female cop gets shot. Oh my God, a woman. Yeah, you gave her a gun and put her in front of a crazy person. You put Candace Owens in front of a microphone, that bitch ain't a woman anymore. That's why I talk the way I talk. If you notice, I've never doxed anyone or called out someone's private wife. Ever once. Never once. Joe Rogan's got a wife. Who else have I had beef with in the past? I don't even fucking remember at this point. But it's like, think about people I've had beef with wives not in entertainment that don't act like men. I never bring up their wives. Oh, what about Made by Jim Bob? His dog-eating wife was publicly...
Okay, I get the point. All right, so me and Tim started beefing. I didn't even mean to beef with him. So I said I have a hard time having a ton of sympathy for Tim Pool having money issues when he has a skate park and a basketball court on site. Just seems like he overspent and did not save for a rainy day. Then I'm like, he starts gaslighting me. He's like, why are you making shit up? You're a woman. Now I agree with you, Tim. Women, we make shit up all the time. But I just saw a video of you complaining about security costs. And I would have thought with a decade in the media, like you'd have $1 million saved or something crazy saved, I don't know. Man, we might walk away, but we won't go liberal and we won't leave the country hanging. No, but white men will just stop voting. That's why he's monetized, just like Daily Wire. We're the top spender on Facebook. If you shill for Israel, you won't get banned. Hey, look, look. If you have payment processors and you're on YouTube, I don't want to hear it. I said, what am I lying about? You literally have skate ramps. He said, I have a $20,000 Meteorite GN sitting on set. I'm not having financial issues. Women, small brain, no understand. New increase in security costs require cost cutting. So he's called me dumb first. Do you know what's so crazy? These Christian people, right? I didn't insult him. I just said, all I said is I don't have sympathy for you because you have a basketball court. I think that's fair. A lot of men die for free. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. No. And then I said, do you think this exchange helped you beat the out of touch allegations? No, but it shows your feeble hormone addled lady brain doesn't understand economics. Keep it in the kitchen, honey. Men are speaking. And this is the funniest roast I've ever had in my life. I said, but I'm talking to a woman. Dude, this is the second back and forth we've done where he starts it and I finish it. Don't agree, we will vote. I think the last 10 years have been more eye-opening than you think. Well, I guess we'll see. Oh no, a lady brain ad hominem. I'm like, what is this gaslighting? You insulted me first. Like a child, I love your content. It's two birds with one stone. Call women retarded and then say retarded shit, moving all doubt. I said, that's very nice, sweetie. So you're complaining about security costs when you have no money issues in a skate park. Did I get that right? No, because you're dumb. A skate park built 3 years ago has no relation and on current security costs, especially when the statement was we are cutting costs, which includes the skate company. But my God, Pearl, you are actually trying to exemplify your own claims about women being retarded, if so masterfully done. I'm just thinking like imagine he's telling like a police officer how scared he is about, and he's like, oh no, I have to cut my skate park. Ah. Oh no, I'm so sad. You know, I think he knew what I was getting at. It's like the out of touch, not like I'm not doing your books, Tim. I finished it with this. I said, in all seriousness, Tim, if I was spending money on your platform, I would question if my money was being spent wisely, because it seems like you guys overspend for what you were doing to have the reaction you had online. A lot of influencers, including you, come off incredibly performative, so it's difficult to determine what is real anymore. I don't think complaining about security costs is going to come off as in touch to average people when you've made millions off of this stuff. But hey, keep going, I guess. I am not overly sure why you're getting so defensive, but to normal people, it comes off as more suspicious. I got no skin in this fight. I hope it works out for you. Okay, and then I'm going to bring up the last clip today. Oh, the last two clips. All right. So I kind of got more in the weeds than I really needed to, but essentially this is World War III of conservatism, and I'm having a great time. I'm a woman. I love drama. This is amazing. So now Erica Kirk she's also finally commentating on this. So let's see what she has to say. And I'm not even really a fan of Erica Kirk. Like, I think her actions have been weird, but I definitely don't think she was involved in any, thing.
From the perspective of a grieving widow, a mom, and a battle-tested American. Good to see you again today. Talk to me about this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But can I have one thing? Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing. This is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that. But this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
What are they taking from you right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard. And I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
You know, I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus.
Isn't it crazy how she sounds angrier now than when her husband died? The supremacy is in the West. You can't criticize that without losing everything. It's tough. I'll say that. It seems to be more lenient now. And look, she acts kind of fake, so I understand why she kind of rubs people the wrong way. But and a lot of, I keep hearing that like now the evidence is, they're making a lot of money at these Mar-a-Lago events off of Charlie Kirk's death. Now, you could say it's poor taste, but again, to the Candace Owens conspiracy theories, where is your evidence? I need facts. Real evidence. And look, you have to understand, Candace Owens is raking in the dough. I think I saw almost 200,000 people watching live. When I had 50,000 people watching live, I would guess that she's making $500,000. I would guess she's making $500K a month right now on her channel. 250 to 500K. Gold digger, Charlie F up. I don't think she really I've kind of explained to this. She's a fashion emergency, way too much makeup. Yeah, Candace gets that live every show. Yeah, she gets a ton of money. So, again, I don't even think it's about money for Candace. I think she just likes being in the drama.
Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful, and we are human. My team are not machines, and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. You name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
The conspiracies that are out there, all of the like, do you think that there is more of it now because you do shine your light? I mean, did people just...
Oh, I didn't mean to X that. Well, you kind of got the idea. So I wanted to go through, I asked some smart, intelligent men I know how they determine if something is true or untrue. And I also put in my 2 cents. If you can't tell how fake she is, you're the problem. Look, I'm not saying she's fake, but I don't think she's a killer. Sorry, again, if the information directly conflicts with what you see with your own eyes. So if someone says, look at my data, and it conflicts with what is in front of your own eyes, that's someone trying to manipulate you. If the person that is saying it is BS or is wholly unqualified to say it. So for me, Candace Owens has a tendency to jump to conclusions, and we've seen this in the past with her Crowder case. Now, I would respect her as a journalist if she ever came out and said that Crowder was not abusive, but she got a little clip and she heard some rumors and she got some gossip and then reported that Crowder was an abusive husband with no retraction. Why would I think she would act differently in this case? Like, she's going to just double down and keep going. You have to have a record of admitting when you're wrong. And I just don't see that with Candace. I don't see her as like a good, not necessarily bad faith, but she's got too big of an ego. If the person saying it is the BS is a lazy POS, if the person is looking up when they are saying it, hey, that would Doug have PA. I look up when I talk, damn it. If it sounds like common BS that other people say, and me, well, she's not the first person that's killed for money or love. I just keep asking, where is the evidence? I need real evidence, not the planes are flying, not, okay, Charlie Kirk. Like essentially the evidence I've heard is there were some planes that are flying around. Charlie Kirk might have been swaying on his position on Israel. And I don't believe it was him. It's like, okay, evidence. And, I don't think any of this would hold up in court. And I think that's the standard we got to do. I probably should have tied in the topic a little more, but this stuff is red pilling conservative media on women, because Candace Owens is essentially a DEI hire gone wrong. And in my opinion, it's conservative media's punishment for elevating women higher than they should be for no reason, for doing nothing. And now it's going to bite them in the ass. Yeah, Alex Jones was more right than wrong. Yeah, and I think if Candace Owens had the track record of Alex Jones, we could maybe point and say it's the same thing. But I really don't think she does. That's my point. She didn't do that. She's happy he's gone. Don't marry. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. This isn't court, it's YouTube. Yeah, but what I'm trying to talk about is when something's credible or not credible, because it's very confusing, right? But if we're going to simplify these claims, none of them are really that credible. TPUSA has a lot of shady characters. So what? I mean, I've been around shady characters. Does that mean I'm implicated in a murder? It's like, yeah, I think Piers Morgan, I'm going to save him for next show. I'm going to save him for next show because I'm getting sleepy. This wasn't my best show, guys. I wish I was a little more high energy, but I'm just a little tired today. Can you imagine an influencer saying they're tired? I hate me too. Oh, 21 more likes to 450. Meadow, thanks for pushing that. Thank you. Happy 23rd birthday. You're right. I'm 23 forever. And so really what I try to do on this channel is give you guys tools to think for yourself, because I'm not here to really tell you what to think, but I've seen firsthand a lot of the deception in media. And if you want to know if somebody has credible claims, really look at their audience. If it's too high in women, it's going to be drama centered. It's not going to be fact centered. You cannot have a high female audience and be drama centered and be fact centered. It's just not going to happen. Those aren't real metrics. Detectives are wrong or not. They need to exhaust all leads. I could be open-minded. By the way, you're not entitled to the investigation of law enforcement. Like, it's just, you guys have such a big ego if you think as a journalist you're going to do it. And a woman, you have to understand, women are susceptible to mysticism. We're susceptible to witchcraft. We are not going to outthink a man. Sorry. I don't care how much she pretends to be a man. You are not going to outthink a male investigation. Somebody that does that for a living because you have a YouTube. Sorry, you're not. You're not. No, if you have evidence, you'll be taken seriously. I mean, it's like, sorry, but if you go to the police with real evidence, they do have to file a report. They should have released nothing. Yeah, I know. And she might be ruining an investigation, by going on all these tangents. He's right, Pearl. People don't respect evidence. Well, it's probably a bunch of women watching. I mean, I don't really have a lot of sympathy for anyone getting attacked because it's the internet. And if you don't like it, get off. Nobody's making you be here. But at the end of the day, white men are going to walk away. They are going to see this drama and just walk away from the conservative party. They're not going to pay attention to this. I mean, I might, because it's like fun for me. I love the drama. Candace is simply investigating and reporting. That's what you do, is pull threads, one lead to another. Would you rather her eat at the Fed slop? So the interesting thing is, she's not going to sleep with you. And that's kind of like, we got to stop with this white knighting. She's not going to bang you. She's not going to hook up with you. She doesn't need you to defend her. She's a man in a man's world. And you could say what she's doing isn't immoral, but that doesn't mean I think that she's good at her job. I don't think that clout equates to doing a good job, because when you have a female audience, you don't need to be good at things. I mean, Alex Earl is like a top female influencer. And I was with Jack Mack, the guy from Barstool, the other day. We did some content and we pulled up her page, and it's like her like doing dances. And I'm like, this is what's worth $1 bajillion. Yeah, if you can't see, Candace is dumb. And I'm not even saying I'm the smartest, but like, but I don't think she's smarter than the FBI and more that's why I really try on my channel to emphasize the difference between men and women, because again, anybody that's red-pilled on this knows that she cannot do the job of a man. Real evidence. You'd only accept a confession, apparently. Oh my God, the white knighting. It'll never end. This is why feminism will always keep going, because there's always going to be men like this white knighting. What is your evidence? Flight logs, really? People made money off his death? Really? I mean, stop watching my channel. I need some men that aren't. Please go. I don't need you here. Grifter or not, she just cares about her friend getting murdered. Now you're going to defend her intentions, really. Do the ends justify the means? Really, an influencer woman has integrity. Truly. You guys deserve to get swindled. Sometimes men simp, and I'm like, you kind of deserve it. You deserve it. Keep sending money to the OnlyFans girls. Why stop here? I actually think it will make men walk away from conservatism. I think men just, not because they're not conservative, but I think men aren't going to see the point in voting because women are going to win. So I'm a little sleepy. Either tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to come back and do another show on Piers Morgan's wife. Thank you. You sent money to the Audacity Network. The calls, I'm going to do them. You guys just have to trust me. I am. If you got the email, that was me. I am going to call you guys. I did have to push it off slightly because I had someone in town. It was just, I'm tired of these lame conspiracies. He got shot. There's no conspiracy. She is a viper because she's getting money at the end. Yeah, I'm going to bed. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Give me your thoughts on the Discord. If you want me to keep the app, tell me why. If you don't mind us switching to like School and Discord and Substack, let me know. You know. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. I like doing these streams again, so I've been having fun. I'll see ya.